Hey, ladies and gents, we're going to start a new video series, not just of the iconic planes, but we're actually going to do essentially what these are going to be is concept and paper plane projects the Germans worked on toward the end of the war. The first one we're going to cover is actually going to be the BVP-210, which is the Tier 8 multi-role in the German tech tree. So, about 1943, the Germans realized that, okay, we're not going to be able to. 1943, 1944, the bombing of Germany had commenced, and with the high tech, high quality aircraft they were building, they were all highly complex aircraft. So the Luftwaffe said, you know what, we need to start maybe taking some hints from the Russians and producing fighters in larger numbers that were very simple, not complex, and very easy to fly. So the very first one, which they know, it was under a plan called the Emergency Fighter Plan, and another name was, of course, the People's Fighter. Hence the Volksjager, I believe, is what it was called. HE-162 was started to be developed in 1943. I believe it was produced in 1944. But they were looking for the next generation of this People's Fighter, and they put out a requirement for the new Volksjager, the new People's Fighter, and it was, I do believe, Messerschmitt actually put in 3 designs, Falkwolf put in 2, and Blom and Voss, which is probably more well known for their flying boats and their larger aircraft. But toward the end of the war, they got into the fighter competitions. So they had a designer on the name of, I believe, Dr. Richard Vought. Vought. He started developing a series of fighters starting in about 1944 that were going to be completely tailless. The very first plane in this series, in this BV series, was this plane, which is the BVP-208. So this was in 1944. So he at the time used a piston engine with the pusher propeller and a somewhat radical new wing design. Before, of course, this plane could really be developed, they had to see if this wing design would work and actually fly. And so they took a trainer plane. It was called a Skoda. Karuba, I believe, is how it was pronounced. And they used it. This is actually a picture. Oops. This is what happened there. This is the actual picture of what a Skoda looks like. It was a pusher propeller with a twin boom tail. They took this aircraft and modified it with this wing design that they were going to use on the BVP series. From what I could find, I could not find an actual picture of this aircraft, but we did know it did exist. And this plane with this wing design flew and apparently worked just fine, being that it was taking the tail away and putting the control surfaces out on the wingtips. So that was been in 1944. After the BVP-208, they moved on to, and this is essentially a progression of different concepts, and eventually till they got to the BVP-212, which was the fighter they entered into the contest. So the BVP-208, deciding that the propeller wasn't going to be adequate, they moved to use I believe a BMW 003 engine, and then eventually a new Heinkel turbojet engine was to power these BVP planes. So from the 208, they progressed to the 209, and I believe there was 3 different versions of the 209s in this design concepts. They were not really, I believe, I think they said they were not accepted, being one of the BV BV-209s had no tail. One of the BV-209s had a tail. So that progressed a little bit further. Then we ended up with the BV-P.210. Once again, just in paper drawings, was never prototypes, none of that kind of stuff. So eventually, from the BV-P210, led of course to the actual airplane that they submitted for the contest, which is the BV-P212. Yeah, long drawn out process. I shouldn't say it was a long drawn out process. I mean, this was within a matter of 1 year that Blau and Voss went from the BVP-208 piston engine powered pusher aircraft to the BVP-212 using these new Heinkel turbojet. Estimated speed of these aircraft were in excess of 600 miles an hour with a very good rate of climb. These aircraft were going to be, like I said, built of available materials. The landing gears, everything was simplified, so they were going to be able to be built with slave labor. They were not going to require the complex machinery that was involved with the BF-109s and the ME-262s. They were going to just mass produce these with as huge numbers is what they were looking at. They wanted these aircraft rolling off the assembly line to deal with the new, or not deal with the new, but deal with the bombing by the Allies. So what do we get in the game with the BVP 210? Kind of an interesting thing. I believe this is affectionately known as the Batwing aircraft in forum posts. Yeah, there's a lot of people that call this the Batwing. I guess that's the name they use. What we have in game is actually powered by a Jumo 004 engine. I didn't really see that in the history of this aircraft, but once again, maybe they have a little bit better researchers than I myself am. It's actually so yeah. I didn't realize there was that many A, B, and C. But whatever. I said the history of these things are somewhat speculative. So yeah, there's could always be a little bit of bumps in the road, I guess, when it comes to researching on these. This one in game is mounted with the Jumo 004 engines. It carries 220s on each inside of the air intake, and it has an option, of course, to carry 24 R4Ms, which are air-to-air rockets, or it has the ability to carry 2 larger air-to-ground rockets. These ones right here, they only do 150 damage. You get a bunch of them, and they kind of just, when you fire them, they just looks like a cloud of mosquitoes. I prefer since I play this more of the multi-role than an actual fighter. I have a tendency to use the 2 big rockets. These 2 big rockets will take out anything you run into, whether it's ground targets or bombers or other fighters going head-to-head with you. Yeah, it only takes one of those rockets to kill you. With the air-to-air ones, yeah, you got to hit a lot of those rockets to make a difference. So it's more of a preference thing, of course, like how whatever you want to play it. If you want to play it more as a multi-role, if you want to play it more like a actual light fighter, kind of probably up to more of your choice. I run gun sight, concealed livery, and of course engine tuning too. The gyroscopic gun sight, of course, helps a little bit. Like I said, these 220s are really nice guns. I'm definitely not unhappy about them. Effective range of over right around 800 meters. I've been trying the concealed livery 3, just because of I have a tendency to play with the multi-roll down a little bit lower, lots of flak and that kind of stuff. And engine tuning 3 just to help out with the little bit more get up and go when you need it. This thing does not turn well. Maneuverability is not great. Altitude performance is also not great. Airspeed, not the best either. However, it does, like I said, does make up quite a bit. I love the 220s on here. These are really nice 20s. They do a real nice job, as you'll see in the video. So, I will be bringing up the video play for you guys to see how this thing performs. I hope to be doing this, as I go through the tech trees. This is also kind of an incentive for me to start grinding out these planes to finish off my tech trees, so I can give you guys the 9s and 10s, and then of course doing the Falkwolf's lines, and of course the Messerschmitt lines, to see some of these really crazy concepts that the Germans came up with at the end of the war. So I'm going to bring up the gameplay for you guys to check out and see what this little monster can do. The first game in the P.210. I got a few other human pilots on the other team, and we're going to see what this thing can do. Not really a great, like I said, altitude fighter. You get up above 2,500, 3,000 meters, and it turns into kind of a dog. So I typically play down below 2,500 meters. Of course, everything's always relative depending on what you're doing with it. But yeah, I find this more effective down here, a little bit lower, playing the more of traditional multi-role mission type stuff. So boost up here a little bit. With these, being that it's not terribly maneuverable, and you do run into prop planes, of course, like your Spitfires and your and whatnot, the Russian planes, and this thing cannot outturn most of those planes. So you kind of have to use a little bit of an ambush on when you're dealing with prop planes that can outturn you pretty easily. So yeah, but however, with the 220 millimeters here, they have nice range, decent damage, and they cool down relatively quickly here. So pick up my first kill. We've knocked out the objective, and we are going to head ourselves toward the center objective. Fuck, I'm having a hard time talking tonight. I don't know why. Pick up the first human fighter coming through here, and the Spitfire. Oh yeah, Spitfire 14. He can be a threat. About that time I realize he's AFK, but that's alright. We'll put some shells in him as he goes by. Put a few into him. Pick up the Meteor 1 coming through here, and we'll get right on his tail. Like I said, feathering these guns is a definite must. They don't heat up real quick, but you want to try to stay on target as long as you can and do as much damage. Go up into the vertical with this thing. Yeah, not the best turn fighter in the world. I don't have a real problem with the I-260 though, so I don't have a problem getting into a turn fight with him. Use those, like I said, use that big 800 meter range and pick off targets here. Pick up the Yak 9U. He's down low. I'm not interested in that. I want the center objective as quick as possible. So pull on in here. Got the BF-109G, and yeah. Oh, let's see if we can pick up the J4M. And yeah, really like that. Really like the 20 millimeters on this plane. They do a real nice job. The next, the 212, of course, gets 3, which is even better yet. So pull around here, kind of looking for my first target here. I'm not sure what I want to get. Pick up the Yak 9U, and down we go. Pick up the LA7. Remember, kind of more of an ambusher here. You don't really want to get into too many turns, especially against human pilots. Bots, not so much. Yeah, you can get right on them. You get down under that 500 meters, 400 or 500 meter range with this thing, and you can put a lot of nice little bursts into planes and take off a lot of their health. Pull back around here, pick up the Falkwolf flying away. Didn't quite get him. Pull up and over, and there goes that guy again, 210 or 260. I'm sorry. Pull back onto the bigger threat, which is, of course, is the BF-109G, and see if we can finish him off quick here and try to get this objective turned before it gets turned back red. Unfortunately, I killed him out, so yeah, what are you going to do? Back into the objective I go, and looking for my next target here. Oh, there we go, A6M2. I only need to kill one plane to take this objective, so I pull back around, pick up the A6M2, put a nice couple rounds into him, finish him. Ow, shit, I didn't even get the kill, did I? No, must not have. Oh well, whatever. Turn the objective. Yeah, we'll put some more parting shots into the Spitfire as he runs away. And I kind of felt bad for the other guy on the other team. There was another player, a human player on the other side. We put up almost identical combat scores. Unfortunately, he got stuck with a AFK plane, and yeah, right there he is in the Yogo, I think is his name. He had a hell of a nice game. Unfortunately, we were never able to do much when you lose one of your human pilots. Simply just flies across the map, and which not seems like a bad strategy because I got fucking 3 planes chasing his ass. I actually didn't even notice that when I was playing in game. So Yaga gets me from behind with these massive amount of firepower he has with that machine. He's got the Canadian flag. How ironic is that? So back in I come here. Start looking around here. Find my first target. What are you doing, buddy? Oh, I'm having a fuck of a time hitting anything. Gets him into the vertical, and we'll just go up and over and follow you down around. Not real big threat here. Why does it feel like I have no team? Because you don't. I felt bad for him at the end of the game. He put up a hell of a fight. Unfortunately, wasn't able to pull it off. So we pull back around, find the P.210, the H. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Once you get used to the 20s on this thing, they are really nice. They seem like they seem to be a little bit underpowered, but like I said, once you get used to them with that range and that quick burst damage with them, you can rack up some pretty decent scores with them. Pick up the LA7 coming through, finish him off. We're still up 2-1 right now. It looks looking pretty deep here, but I really want this mining facility. We got 3 GAs down low here, so I'm just going to pull in here. Pick up the low target ones first. Ooh, almost finish him. Flip back over. Around we go. Yeah, these guys have been a problem all game. Finish off the first one. Get another nice burst into him. Even with the short bursts on these 20s, they can do a lot of damage if you're close enough and you get them all hitting. Pick up the IL-8. Yeah, slowly but surely. No! Didn't quite finish him. So I only need one more kill here to flip the mining facility and hopefully kind of end this game a little quicker here. Pull back around on the IL-8. Oh, you fucker. Every time. I swear to God. You know, at one point I told myself I was going to put some first aid kits in this damn thing, but I keep forgetting. So, with that huge aiming reticle, I'm going to have to kind of just play a little bit till I get healed up a little bit. Flip back over, and about that time finally my pilot regains consciousness, I guess. Pick up the plant, and back around we go. Got one more GA to finish off. Oh, there we go, buddy. Amazing how they always turn into you when you're trying to kill them. Flip around, see if we can pick up the last GA. We got the mining facility, and there we go. Finish him off, and now we're on the hunt for some more XP and damage. I like the plane. Some people really hate it because it's so when it comes to altitude performance, airspeed. They don't really like the 220s because it's just 220s at tier 8. However, once you get to play the plane a little bit, you do find out it does its job. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It is a little bit of a plane, but you can make it work, and it looks cool as hell, right? We're flying the Batwing, for fuck's sake. Pull in on the Meteor 1, kind of seeing where he's headed, but then I notice, oh, never mind, I did go after him. Find the Meteor 1. Oh, I launched a rocket head on. Didn't get the kill on him, but hey, that's alright. Pick up the Meteor 1 as he was running away, and didn't get the kill on that one either. Fuck! Got the Focke-Wulf. They're chasing one of my bot planes, the J4Ms. Up we go. Yaga's still having a problem. Pick up the Focke-Wulf flying downwards. Yeah. Drop in on him. Chase him down to the deck. Yeah, there we go. Pick him up. The Wing Legend. Yeah, game's pretty much over with. And it was a good fight. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm going to be doing this series for a while, so we'll see how it goes. Have a good night, guys.